Good morning. I haven't done a video like this, but I'm going to. Excuse the sweating. It is Darwin. It's 11 something. It's 30 something degrees. Lots of humidity, so if I'm sweating, I'm generally hot. So I thought I would do a video about dogs. People always ask on Facebook, on all the pages, I'm going on a trip, should I travel with my dog, shouldn't I travel with my dogs? So I thought I would do pros and cons on travelling with our dogs. So we have a Jack Russell, whose name is Mac. He is going to be 3 in about 5 days. It's just down there. And we have a Mastiff Cross, Bob, who is a big boy. He used to be about 60 kilos, but we had to get him down because he's got some arthritis and done both his back ACLs. So we had to get him down, so he's about the 47, 50 kilo mark. So yeah, so we're on the road full time. We travel with the dogs and we're working as well. Well, trying to work. Brett does most of the working because he can get work as a machine operator anywhere and everywhere, and I try to do the caravan park jobs if there's some available, so that then I'm on site and the dogs are just a stone throw away. So that has worked. That's been good. We always also set up a camera so that I can watch them, so that'll tell me if the power goes off as well, because it's connected to the Starlink. So if the power goes off, then I know I've got to go and make sure the dogs are all good. But pretty much we have the caravan open and then we have an annex set up, so if the power did go out, they'd just go sit down in the annex anyway with the 12-volt fans blowing in their face, so they're not going to die. So some pros of travelling with dogs is they're beautiful companions. They're great to just have around. They're funny, they keep me entertained, they're keeping me to a bit of a schedule, which I think I sometimes need as well. So you know, walks and poos and peas are all at certain times. They are sweet. They definitely make me laugh. Like I actually probably need to spin the camera around right now. Oh no, it's just moved. Bob was just rolling around like a big goose. But it is nice having your unconditional love. And right now Brett's going to be FIFO 7 and 7, which isn't hard. We've done it a million times over, but when you're in a caravan park, you don't have your own. I don't have a job at the moment. It is nice having the dogs around, but the opposite of that is we're in Darwin. There are no caravan park jobs going at the moment. I have rang every caravan park probably like 100 times, and there's nothing, and that's fine. So then my job is restricted, so I can't really work too far away or at all. So we're just giving this a bit of a go, see how it goes. Probably in a week again I'll ring all the parks again, see if there's anything. It's nice being in the caravan park, you know, you've got some security, I know I'm close to the dogs. Don't have to have a free site, you know, we're at a Discovery and paid $10 a night for an ensuite, which is perfect and fine. $70 a week, I can handle that. Some pros as well, like we don't miss out on a lot of things. Obviously there are national parks, but we have a ute with a soft canopy, so the dogs sit on the back of the ute, we can pull up, we sometimes have a fan going for them, but they've got their water, their canopy sides are all put up and the wind is just blowing through. Opposites, if it's cold, we shut it down, and they just sleep pretty much anyway. So there's no issues when we go certain places. Even we can go out for dinner and we'll take the dogs, but we also, like I said, we all have a camera, so if we just want to duck to the shops or something like me right now, I can go across the road to the shops, put the camera on, and I can watch the dogs. and like I said, I know if the power goes out because the camera goes out and it says it's offline, so then I know I gotta come home. A con, yeah, is national parks. It does make it hard. There are some days when we sit there and go, God, it'd be just a little bit easier if we didn't have the dogs. Obviously Bob's a bit of a big boy. He's a bit scary looking to a lot of people. His bark is scary sounding. Max actually got little boy syndrome. He stirs Bob up. If they're separate, they're completely different dogs, but Mackie stirs Bob up, so he thinks he's got to be the big brother and step in. But I think that's kind of where it's been a bit of a con as well, as like, you know, people see Bob and think he's unfriendly, so a lot of people don't talk to us when we're travelling. But then there's the opposites, and people who love big dogs just think Bob's beautiful, and he is. You know, he's just like every other dog. They're still skeptical of anybody and everybody. They may say that they love him, doesn't mean little ones don't yap as well. They do. Max yaps. Yeah, so, you know, there's pros and cons all the time. Like right now, we're sitting outside. They look hot. It is hot. But I just need to air the caravan out a bit. It needs, the aircon needs a rest. Done a little bit of cleaning. That's another thing. The dog's hair. Ugh. At home, they are outside dogs, unless we've had a few drinks. Sometimes they come in, but you know, we go to work, they're outside, they sleep outside, they're guard dogs at home, so they don't sleep inside. They are loving the aircon caravan life, where they get to be inside and just lays around in aircon all day. So hence when we can have them outside as much, we can. Would I change travelling with dogs? Sometimes. Some days, but 90% no, I wouldn't. I know Brett's answer would be different, but I do love having them here. I love having someone, I just talk to them like they're people. I know they're not, but I do. They just look at me and they give me unconditional love. It's so nice. Hey Mac. So it is nice. I'm gonna tap my little Mackie. He's right here. Hey. Hey. See? Look how cute he is. I love it. But yeah, places like national parks, it does, you know, we go home and do our house inspections. So unless only one of us goes and then one stays and looks after the dogs, it then is an expensive trip, because if we both go, we've got to put the dogs in the kennel. And I'm quite particular about where Bob goes. Mac, whatever, but very particular on Bob. And we found the most amazing one in South Australia. Take the lead at Two Wells. The most amazing ladies ever. They, you know, the owner has Rottweilers, so she can handle big dogs, make sure big dogs are looked after. You know, he's a funny little thing. But yeah, I could not fault them. I know they do trainings and stuff, which is something that we were wanting to try and get Bob into, and Mac, because he is the instigator, but we just sort of ran out of time, and you know, life comes into play, and when we're travelling, you know, yeah, unfortunately they took the back burner. But they were amazing. Another person that was spectacular was someone we found on Mad Paws at Catherine. She was out at the RAF base. Oh my god, I said to her, she had 2 kids, I said, just be aware, obviously Bob is a big boy, he doesn't know his size sometimes, and you know, Mac will jump, so Bob thinks he can jump, so whether you just keep the kids inside and have the dogs in the yard, she was like, yeah, that's fine. I got pictures all day while we went out to Catherine Gorge. Dogs are inside, dogs are playing with the kids, running around, sniffing, playing in the leaves. And then I got there, and Bob can sometimes be funny about select males, and you know, backing up his bum straight into the husband of hers, and just loved the kids. So like, that melts my heart that there's just genuinely nice people who love your dogs as much as you do, and look after them really well. So that was, yeah, that made me want to stay in Catherine forever, just so that she could look after the dogs and we wanted to go do things. But yeah, we're not super like organised. We don't book into places. There's times when we've thought, oh shit, you know, I've rang 6 places, none of them except big dogs, where are we going to stay? We've made it work. We haven't ever been stuck and not found somewhere. People do say when you've got dogs you need to sort of plan ahead, being dog friendly, and not everyone is dog friendly. Not everyone is dog friendly. That's okay. You don't have to plan ahead, but sometimes it probably pays to. I know during peak season it definitely pays to. School holidays, that's obvious, but you know, just enjoy it. If your dogs are not enjoying it, then you've got to find another solution. If you're not enjoying it with your dogs, then you've got to find another solution. But if they're fine, they're content, they're happy, you're happy, take your dogs. I know, if you've got a dog, it's pretty much your child. So, would you leave your child at home? Well, let's retract that. Maybe some people would. But legally you're not allowed to leave your child at home. So, I wouldn't leave my dog behind. So yeah, I'm glad we're doing these trips and memories with the dogs, because they're not forever either. So I know that I can do this with the dogs. We can maybe go home, and then when dogs are not here, we can do it all over again and go completely different places. Bob's a big boy, he's nearly 6, so he's not going to live forever. Mac, I think he'll probably go till 20, so I'll nearly be dead by then. But then I can do the trip again and do all the national parks. But yeah, each to their own. Don't judge people on what their decisions are. You know, everyone's in different situations, everyone's in different circumstances, everybody travels differently. Yeah, I think the only hard thing for me personally is Bob does take a lot of room in our caravan. So we converted our lounge, makes a bed, and then we can obviously change it back. So when we're only staying places for a few nights and the annex is not up, they have a bed inside. But when we're staying places for a long time, we set the annex up and they have their beds out there. And the caravan is a caravan, and it doesn't smell like dog. It doesn't have dog hair. It's clean. But you know, first world problems. Yeah, that's just my video about dogs. You don't have to like it, you don't have to watch it. If you've got this far, you obviously have watched it, but you don't have to agree with it. This is just my personal opinion. I love my babies. So, have a good weekend. If you can find a caravan park that has a dog park, amazing. I think this is only the second one that we have stayed at that's had a dog park. We're at Coolangatta, Northern Territory, just outside of Darwin. And the other one was Discovery, Port Augusta, South Australia. I think they're the only 2 that we've stayed at. Look, they're not big. They don't have to be big. It's just a chance that you can have your dog off lead. They're safe. and they don't have to be tied up the whole time.